your place to voice inside your head for now, giving you a break from the constant internal monologue that is the human mind. I want to say first, thanks for listening or viewing our platform you're on. If you haven't already, click that like button. If you're in the YouTube stream, subscribe to the channel, join the kingdom. I got Champ on, fellow NFT YouTuber, fellow podcast host, actually not fellow because I can't do music, but he's done all the things. So really excited to have you on, man. Thanks for making the time.
Oh wow, my first word was a cough. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it, dude. I actually just wrapped shooting the pod, me and Case pod earlier, went straight run a team meeting. Now I'm here back at it like a crack addict on camera, you know what I mean? So what's up, bro? Thanks for having me.
Hell yeah, man. I know that schedule very well. The Web3 world, pretty much for content creators, is just nonstop grind. But before I wanted to talk about the NFT stuff, I saw you just did a pod with like your childhood hero, M Shadows. So how was that? How was that like sitting in a room with him for an hour and just getting to chop it up with him?
Oh man, crazy. So odd to just go see him at, in his element and like, just go. Like we just pulled up on him, set up our equipment. He was like, "Hey, y'all want some water?" I was like, "Sure." And we shot, man. And as soon as the episode started, like you get focused, and when you're a content creator, you kind of block that stuff out, right? But when I reflect on it, it's a lot crazier than it felt at the moment because I was very focused. But we left, and I was in the car. I was like, "Wow, like that's so odd," because I like. Obviously my musical, tastes have changed a lot, but like as a child, right? Like that was my like holy grail. Like I grew up listening to their, like that's what I liked. Like my whole life growing up, I would drive and go to their shows. God knows how many times I've heard that man's voice, and watched his music videos. And so it was just like the fact that we got to connect because we both, have sort of an overlap in interest in Web3 was outstanding.
Dude, yeah, and honestly, when I saw that it was in person too, that's a totally different feel. You've done the virtual ones, but the in person ones are different. And I remember when I did one of my first ever in real life ones was someone that I knew him a little bit, but I mainly just knew of him. And I remember I was like setting up. I don't know if you guys have like people who show up and set it up for you, but dude, like I was like setting up the whole thing, and I was like, "Fuck, do I like make small talk or do I save it for the podcast or like what do I say?" And like the camera wasn't working. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" Like
that's really how it felt, man. Because we're like, we pulled up at his crib. And we're like shooting this, and I was like, well, do I talk to him now? Like, but do I save it for the podcast?
Yeah.
But like, I was like, bro, I'm nervous. I was like,
Dude, it's a great pod too. Like he really do his shit for like the business side of it.
Crazy, bro. Like he really gets it.
Yeah.
To like the nth degree. So that was cooler than anything, right? Like super smart guy who understands what it means to utilize NFT technology. So very cool.
Yeah, man, it was wild because I just on that pod, like I said, with Brett, and that was like basically all about the business side of NFTs, like the blockchain and all that stuff, which is an interesting side of the conversation for me because he's definitely like in the more business side, like helping out big brands and companies use the token gating things to like help out their communities and stuff. But then there's also another subset of Twitter, which is like doing Twitter Spaces about the most degenerate bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. And so I do feel like there's some level of like a collectability sphere. I don't know like how big that bubble is. Like I know you've talked about this before of like the collectability side of it and like people coming right back into the space when they have more money and like the economy feels a bit better. But I've always thought that there's a big category of people that would still love to trade the PFPs and the avatars. I don't know what you think about that, like in the future, or if you think that's totally going to be wiped out.
I think that as with, most things in life, the truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. I think that the landscape of NFTs will probably look drastically different, even some months from now, but moving forward. And I think that most people who are expecting sort of this like perfect return to form are going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think that NFTs are going to be an extremely important technology, but I think it's going to be because they power actually useful user experiences and allow businesses to do new things and empower the customer. And on the topic of that M Shadows interview, he makes some really good points about what it means for fan clubs, and how you're, again, just like improving consumer experiences powered by non-fungible tokens.
Yeah.
Do I think, however, that if there was a cash injection into the economy at the same scale that there was leading up to this last cryptocurrency and NFT bull run, that people would look at these speculative assets that now have cultural relevance, and whether it's, you know, mostly bad, which it is, or not, a lot of sort of people talking about them now and want to gamble on those things again? Of course, like they're the same way that they're going to do it with small cap altcoins the next time there's a crypto bull run, right? But I also think it's worth stating, like, you know, people are always like, the next one's going to be bigger, the next one's going to be bigger. And while I think that's certainly true for NFTs in general, right? Because there's still so few users of this tech in the grand scheme of things, you have to understand how sort of immense this, you know, perfect storm was in January, right? Like, this was the first breakout of PFP project into mainstream media, right? Like, that doesn't happen a second time. Do you know what I mean? Jimmy Kimmel doesn't buy an ape for the first, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you know what I mean? Like, Joe Biden could buy an NFT tomorrow and it wouldn't have this nearly the same stimulus effect, I don't think. Well, I mean, he's a fucking president. Wait, can I say a bad word?
Yeah, you can say all the things, bro.
Okay, maybe Joe Biden might have been a bad example, but like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that moment won't happen again. And I just personally feel like it's gonna have a lot more to do with people that are taking NFTs and using them to create actually compelling businesses and consumer experiences. And at the end of the day, right, like, maybe people don't want to think about or accept the idea that people who are building NFT businesses might have to play by the same rules as everyone else in the entire world who's building a business, which is creating a product that people actually like want or need, or solving any actual issue, or actually doing anything. But like, I think that's the direction in which we're headed.
Yeah, I agree. As Cody says, what's the deal, dude? The deal is, like, honestly, this is something I've been thinking about a lot, because I don't know, when did you start doing like NFT content on YouTube?
I only started creating, on YouTube, I only started creating content in January.
Okay. What about before? Were you about to say something?
I was trying to create content on Twitter, but like, it wasn't really catching on. Like, things snowballed really fast. Right place, right time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I feel you. So I started making content a few months before, like at the end of the summer of 2021. And so at that point, like, the market was so fucking easy. You can make a video about anything and it was going to be fine. And so, like, I came in and did a bunch of the reviews. I did a lot of the podcasts with like founders and stuff. And so I filled like that little niche of people before that became a thing. But I have started to think about, like, because a lot of the YouTubers had to kind of shift what kind of content they're making and figure out new ways to make engaging content, figure out what they're going to do, like where the identity of their channel is. That's something I saw with you. Like, I've watched a lot of your videos, and honestly, in the beginning, dude, I didn't know what to think of you. I wasn't sure if I was going to like you or not, because I was like, maybe he's just another alpha caller. He's got a mutant ape, you know. But then I watched a lot of your videos, and I think it's the way you talk, like, you have a storytelling way about you, like a philosophical way about you. I don't know. And I was like, fuck, dude, maybe this guy's like way more like me than I think. And so I started, love your content. But anyways, like, where do you think your content's headed? Like, what do you want to be covering in a few years, you know? Because it's going to change so much.
That's a really good question, man. It's something that I need to be asking myself more often, I think. Because if you consume my content right now, you'll notice me kind of bouncing around, right? And I'd almost say I'm in sort of this like throwing paint at the wall phase, right? Because when I started, it was obvious what I needed to be doing to convert audience members. I looked around and it was very obvious that a lot of people wanted to make money trading NFTs and didn't know how. So, okay, well, let me start creating content, just being completely transparent, about exactly what I'm doing trading this market every single day. I see people making these kind of similar-esque style videos, but I felt like a lot of them had ulterior motives or were like kind of canned.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I'm just going to literally say exactly what I'm doing. And then your audience grows, and then you start to have sort of responsibility, right? Because despite the fact that, you know, I like technically I'm good because I really aggressively, disclaim everything always, like shit ton of disclaimers, like please, like I beg people not to buy things because I talk about them in every video.
Oh, bro, they're buying what Champ buys.
And am super transparent with any project with whom I have a material relationship or that I'm advising, anything like that, right? Because it's fucking important, by the way, extremely important, and something that so many people are not doing. Anyway, people are going to make silly decisions based on what they see on YouTube. It's the nature of the game, right? And some of the folks before me laid out kind of a blueprint of how to handle those things, right? Like the Beckers of the world, the Elios, and people I'm fans of. I want to have Becker on the podcast, actually. Oh, fuck, I need to text him. Anyway, back to your question. Like, where's my content headed? So there's sort of this, like, dichotomy that I'm trying to figure out right now, wherein part of me is like, I'm going to keep creating similar type of content that I've been making, because while that's not going to grow my channel right now, it at least won't alienate my current audience.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why they subscribe to me. Most of them, right, is to get every day, daily market updates. And by the way, I think there's some serious validity in producing that style of content. My favorite crypto YouTuber on YouTube, Elio, and someone I'm happy to now call a friend of mine, does that style of content and execute and smashes it, right?
Yeah.
He does 40, 50, 60,000 views a day in the bear market. Even if that was his full-time career and he was just living off of YouTube rev, he could, right? Outstanding audience he's built over there because he creates good content, right? But that's a high lift activity because that's not something you can honestly do without a research team.
Yeah.
And certainly Elio does most of it, or maybe all of it, right? But like, just based upon like me, the responsibilities that I had, if I were to want to do like really in-depth daily, essentially crypto news videos, it would require a lot of lift. It's easier for me to do that with NFTs because I already run an alpha group, so I'm already plugged in every day with what's going on. I don't have to, you know what I mean? I do research all the time, basically, just because I live it. So part of me wants to continue creating that style of content, sort of under the pretense that, when we do see or I like to say when, because it makes me feel better. When we do see a resurgence in interest in that style of, that market, that I'll be really beautifully positioned, right? Maybe my audience won't grow right now, but if people will start flooding into the space again, right? Let's say they ask their friend who's into NFTs, hey, who should I watch, right? Oh, I watch Champ. Like, oh, I watch. Dude, there's literally like 4 of us left. Yeah. There's like literally no one, bro, or less. Yeah. I don't even know who else makes those style of videos still.
Dude, the only people I know of,
Parallax.
Parallax is great. He's probably the best for like, he's super, super consistent. And then Giancarlo's a couple times a week. Oh, second best. Sorry, second best. I said second best. My mic cut out. We had audio issues before.
You can call him the best. It's okay.
He's definitely the most consistent. I will say that because I'm pretty sure he uploads every day. I don't actually know, but every time I go on YouTube, there's another video. I don't actually check to see if they're like.
Does he do anything else? Does he like run any project? Anything?
He's got some kind of project. I don't know. So actually, one of the questions I was going to ask is like what exactly Champs Pass is doing and like how you guys.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. So, but I think he does have he does have some kind of collection. I think it's anime art style.
Cool.
But yeah, he does something like that. But running a project, dude, what you said about the daily updates, I do a lot of those. I don't do daily. I used to do somewhat daily in the bull market, but that shit takes so long. Like if I wasn't doing it full time, there's no chance I could have done that. Because you're right, it's a ton of work, and then you're also running a project in the background, which is a lot of work. I know a lot of people maybe think it's not a lot because like all projects do, it seems like it's just put things out on Twitter and tell people that they're building. But there's a significant amount of work behind upholding a project,
Dude, immense. Like people have this, and it's so funny, bro. People look at NFT projects and they're like, oh my God, it's so easy. Like you just make, like, no, bro, actually it's very consumer friendly. Well, if the price goes up, and challenging to be an NFT project founder because there's no industry in the world where sort of the court of public opinion on Twitter gets to dictate so many decisions. And NFT projects, I mean, dude, at least before you were able to raise, like make money up front and then make money off royalties.
Right.
Royalties, the writing's on the wall, right? Going to zero on every marketplace, probably. It's just the consumer votes with their dollars. The consumer is inadvertently, and it's my opinion, but I kind of think of it as fact, is inadvertently completely destroying the shit that they love to make money off of by, anyway, whatever. But so now it's like, okay, raise money one time, run a business forever that permanently prints me money. Don't ever pay yourself. Don't ever make money again. Exist forever. If your business fails by spending every dollar that it has, you're rugging. Fuck you. That's what it's like to be a project founder. And that's what you take on. But that doesn't mean it's a bad idea. I love running my project, but we do things a little bit differently. And I feel for somebody who founded an indefinite PFP project, because you're not going to do shit. You have to have a sustainable business model. It's just running a company, right? Mm-hmm. So, and I promise you're going to see a lot of projects come out. You're going to see one of a few things. Projects are going to come out and figure out ways to drive revenue, and people are going to get over it and accept it, or they're going to rug. 2 options. That's it. And you're going to see people start to get creative, and you're going to see me start to get creative, hopefully this week. Anyway, but I want to finish answering your original question about the NFT project, the NFT YouTube content.
Yeah.
But before I answer your question, wait, who else other than Parallax and me is doing it?
Let's see. NFT Nate, he's an Australian YouTuber. He does some consistent content. Who else is on YouTube?
Bento still makes videos sometimes.
Bento and Kosher are still on. Actually, it's funny because I asked Bento when we did the pod and Kosher what it was like running the project, and like the first thing that Bento said, which is a bit different than y'all because he has like a PFP collection, not just like an alpha pass. It's just he was like the immense pressure because it's a PFP project, and I think he realized he's like, fuck me, like. This is way different, and this is super hard. It's like, I feel like in my opinion, it's significantly harder than a champs only or like an alpha pass, because you're like the direct person who can like do the things for it because it's your pass.
Yeah, but see, that's sort of like, I think, the misconception, right? Because maybe it's harder from an expectation standpoint, but the only thing that maybe champs only and like a PFP project have in common is that they are token gated by an NFT.
Yeah.
We're just supplying a service-based product, right? Like with staff and high software overhead costs month over month, right? Except the difference between us and a regular business is they have presumably just MRR based upon subscriptions or selling whatever product it is that we have. And we have had royalties and now decisions to make about what we do moving forward, right? And this is not me like fudding the space for my project, because I have plans and I think that we're going to execute beautifully over the next couple of months. But people are hungry and have extremely high levels of demand in my space, right? There doesn't exist holder founder empathy, at least in the space, right? Like, and you know what? I'm not gonna sit here and complain about that, because what do people expect of Jeff Bezos or Elon or anybody who runs a business, right? They have shareholders. If they don't produce, month over month, they're fucked, right? Like, that's just a rule of business, right?
Yeah.
And you see people being like, oh, it's so hard on Twitter, because they're kids who have never been business founders before, and they didn't realize that they were founding a business when they started, right? But that's what it is. So we pivot and we figure it out, right? And a lot of people, I think, are going to fuck it up, and some people are going to get it right. But it's going to become increasingly obvious who is entrepreneurial and business minded, and who essentially got dropped into the cockpit of an already flying plane and was like, yeah, I'm a fighter pilot. And it's like, okay, let's see. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh, like, that's a perfect example. I used to say, like, for like anonymous founders, for me to like invest in an anonymous founder, it's like getting onto a plane where I don't know the pilot or the staff or the airline. It's just like, pick a plane and it's blank. It's like, fuck, that is risky. But I want to ask you a 2-part question here. Do you think that because I actually listened to a few of your songs, and fucking liked it. It was really, really good music. And I also know that Brett helped you with music videos, I think it was in the past. Do you think the music side and like navigating that world has helped you in Champs Only at all, or navigating yourself as a YouTuber, content creator, entertainer?
100%. I ate shit for years, right? Like, I understand. It taught me how to be resilient and self-sufficient as a content creator. Like, bro, when you're putting out music, like, you put out a song, you know, maybe it's not converting how you, like, sorry, no one gives a fuck. Like, figure it out, right? Go grind. Send however many DMs, pitch yourself over and over again, get told to quit over and over again because you don't know the right people, right? You see people getting on that don't even make it, but it's like they knew one or two people, boom, doors open for them, right? And it either taught me or maybe it just showed me something about myself that I'm like, I just don't care and I'm not going to quit, right? Because it takes grit to be a content creator. It takes grit to be a project founder. And especially in these circumstances, you know this, right? Like, there's no, you know, big, warm, fuzzy endings and thank yous and welcomes operating in this space right now, dude. The whole world thinks you're an idiot for even being here if they're not in crypto. And the people who are in here want you to do more and be better. And it's like, okay, cool to both of those things. Like, I'm going to prove you wrong and I'm going to over deliver for those of you that are here. And I don't need compassion or sympathy, right? I just need you to be here so we can produce, right?
Yeah,
You know what I
mean? That's how it is, dude. I agree. And I think that's something that struggle does teach you because like a year ago, I was living in my car, I was traveling, completely broke, completely depressed, completely anxious. And I think because of some of those experiences mixed with people like Alex Hormozy, who just kind of lay out facts of just what life can be like and how shitty it can be sometimes. Yeah, he's the best. And I remember one thing he said, he was like, happiness should not be like a requirement from life. He's like, you don't always have to be happy. Sometimes it can just suck and that's okay. Like, it's fine. And you don't have to like make that the end all be all. It's like, oh, I'm not happy. This must not be right. And it's like, well, sometimes it's just gonna suck. Sometimes you just have to do 10 years of YouTube before a single video pops off and you get any opportunities. And that's just how it is. Just tons of artists, actors who get started when they're like 50. And I'm like, holy shit, so they ate shit and like did a bunch of stuff they didn't want to do for literally their entire life. But now they're living their best life.
DaBaby had his moment when he was like late 30s, I'm pretty sure. Late 30s.
Wait, how old is
the rapper? Way older than you think, brother.
Wait, what? I thought he was like in his 20s.
Artists pop off that have been doing this 8 years or more, right? Like, and comparison is the thief of all joy. You know, like, you see people and it's like, oh, well, I want to be like, why did they and I didn't? And it's like, well, maybe you're not good enough yet. And that's what, no, but I'm serious. That's what I learned to say to myself. And it's like, you know, I talk to you know, therapy is good, by the way. You should be going to therapy if you're not. And it's like, oh, you know, positive self-talk is important. Like, you know, my mom's like, oh, go easy on yourself. But it's like, dude, this is not me glorifying or endorsing this sort of behavior, but all of the most successful moments in my life have come from looking me in the mirror and being like, dude, you have been trying so hard, but guess what? You're doing the wrong shit and you fucking suck right now. And that's why you're not where you want to be. There's no core. This is something that is so important to know when you're creating content, man. Just because you worked 100 times harder than anyone else and tried extremely hard, that does not mean that you deserve or are going to have any more success than anyone else. You can work 20 hours a day for 10 years straight and do the wrong shit and never make it, right?
Yeah.
Like, trying really hard, but being willing to be honest with yourself that, like, dude, you're not doing the right thing in the NFT space and in YouTube specifically. And that's what I was going to say when we were talking about YouTube, man, is like, and that's why you start to see me trying out different video styles, and I'm split testing thumbnails, and these things that maybe aren't like apparent to the naked eye, but it's like, there's part of me that, you know, like I said earlier, wants to try and like keep making similar content under sort of the impression that, you know, build up that goodwill and keep my audience. And it's important to me to do that because I love the space and it's something I'm good at. And I feel like I could go one-on-one with anybody in the planet at doing, but I also like trying different shit. right? And you'll see me come out and make videos that aren't screen sharing, right? Or you see me come out and make videos where I'm telling stories, right? And oftentimes, man, I'll make videos that I am like, dude, this is the shit. Like, this is so cool. Like, this is such more meaningful content.
Gets no views.
And then we put it out and no one gives a fuck about it. And it's like,
not one fuck.
Oh, well, I'm going to try something else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And sort of build that catalog, not to sound like Russ, but like, you know what I mean? Like, just kind of like do that. But dude, I don't have it figured out, man. And it's challenging because it's like, oh, well, maybe I'm just not being steadfast on my dedication. Maybe I have to eat shit for a while and lose a bunch of followers to then find the right one so I can start growing again. Right. So, for now, my number one priority is of course taking care of the people who support me, but then closely after that is trying new shit and trying to break out of sort of the little box that I think people sometimes put me in. And that's why I'm doing the podcast now. And that's why we're, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you're crushing the podcast, by the way. Even that first episode, I was like, I feel like some people just got it with the podcast and you're able to just riff, you know, you're able to just, the gift of gab. I think we both have it. You
have it too.
Yeah, we can just ramble about shit, dude. It's actually my problem. I'm like trying to figure out a way to like condense. If I have like someone gives me a question, I'm like, okay, can I answer this faster, or do I always have to work around and finally get there? You know,
that's happening in my head right now because I've been talking so much, but I keep remembering like, wait, I'm the guest, not the host this time. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, no, and the clips will be phenomenal. You know, but by the way, that is the trick because I've been getting subs. I know we're in that same group chat, and you're one day you were talking about like the subscribers like going down at certain times, and the shorts have been saving my ass, dude. Like without the shorts, my channel would be like looking a whole lot like this or like this, you know. But with the shorts, like every third or fourth one pops.
Dude, wait, but I have a question because I've had shorts pop big.
Yeah,
I've never had a short convert more than like 2 subscribers though. What do you like? But your shorts, you're telling me your shorts that pop off are converting subs.
Yeah, dude. If it's anything about Web3, it's usually the ones where I'm saying something and I feel like the feel at the end of the video is like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Those videos convert well. And like those ones, if they get a few thousand, sometimes get a few tens of thousands, those will convert anywhere from like 10 to 50 subscribers per, which is pretty good, especially in this kind of market. Like, I will take that all day fucking long.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So wait a minute. Drop some game for me and for the viewers right now. How are you thinking about these things structurally, right? Are you just dropping tidbits of info? Are you including any calls to action in these videos? How are you titling these? Like, how are you structuring these?
All right, I'll give you the breakdown, especially for people who are watching. We do have a lot of people who make content who watch this channel. And so the one thing I picked up from the YouTube shorts is that it's basically all about the title. There's like, it makes almost no difference with the thumbnail. I mean, a little bit, but not really. My goal is to like get these fucking glasses for people to recognize them and say, oh, that's that guy who talks about that thing that I like. That's pretty much the goal with that. It's just overall brand awareness. So I make a lot of videos with those glasses on. So I take a lot of podcast clips. Like I'm sure with this one, the amount you and I both have kind of just rambled about things, there'll be plenty of clips that we'll get. And there's always fucking nuggets that you don't even think about until after you're editing, which is my favorite part. So we'll get a bunch of those clips. And then I come out with just the most horrendous clickbaity title that's not bullshit as I can. And stick it out there on the shorts. And then you post it. The thing I know about shorts is that one, I think monetization starts in January. So I'm really, really just, I don't want to get my hopes up, but I'm really, really like curious to see what that does, if it's anything, or if I'm going to get like 1 cent for 1,000 views kind of thing. But I'm kind of just preparing for that. So I'm posting everything like the podcast clips, what I want to be known for, podcast clips with the related content. If business owners watch my videos, I want them to be like, oh, that's a resource I can trust. I want to go connect with him.
From what I know, at least about how, I mean, I have friends who have made livings doing Instagram reels. And in order to get to sort of that decent living point, they had to be doing like 4 to 5 million views a month on their reels. TikTok pays better though.
It's okay. I know YouTube right now is trying to be #1. That's why I'm putting, like, for the last 3 months, I've been posting daily reminders for people. Like, I'll just post one of my shorts. I'm like, daily reminder, or post your short, because what I know is that YouTube's really, really trying to beat TikTok right now. So they're trying to offer some kind of really, really helpful reward, which is funny that that's like the same conversation we're having in Web3 of like trying to reward creators, reward people. And like, that's where everyone's at, because all the platforms are like, shit, the people have all the power. If they just stop uploading our channel, we're fucked. So we have to offer some kind of reward.
Blur is doing it right now. Marketplaces have been doing this as long as I've been in NFTs. Because people do have the power, right?
Yeah.
The people also don't always act in their best interest, because I think humans act mostly out of short-term emotion.
Yeah.
That applies to royalty discussions, that applies to trading, applies to a lot of things. But the shorts thing is interesting, man. Do you include, like, do you structure them in any sort of way as far as like calls to action at the end, anything, or no? You just take excerpts?
I take some. So some of my videos are like funnel based. So they're like funneling back to the online business a little bit, where I do reviews and audits and stuff. But I don't do too much of that. Like mainly my goal is brand awareness. I just want to be a known figure in the space when people think of Web3. Like I want to be in that top 10 people when people think of it. That'll be tough to break into because of some of the OGs in this space. But at some point we'll be fucking OGs. We just gotta get there. But no, there's no structure. I just post everything. So also I know in January they're gonna switch it up. So like your YouTube content won't be just like flooded with your shorts, which makes your actual profile look like shit, because there's so many shorts, and then hidden amongst the 10 shorts I have is like one actual video. So they're gonna split that up, which is really nice. So I'm uploading everything. Like I post on YouTube Shorts like 6 times a day because I get so many clips from my podcast.
Yeah, no, bro, we got this. Like you said, you want to be top, bro. You're in the right. Who are the top 10?
Well, NFTverse was, and then he disappeared off the face of the planet. So nobody knows where that guy is. I've messaged him multiple times on different social medias. I can't get a hold of like, do you know him, NFTverse, Angel?
I mean, I knew of him.
Yeah, he's gone. So I know right now it's probably Giancarlo. As far as NFT people specific, I mean, I guess you still would probably wrap or throw in Elio and Alex because they're technically NFT, right?
Elio 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I don't know like where he qualifies himself, but he's definitely just in general blockchain,
he's
Web3, crypto NFTs.
Dude's a fucking beast.
He's a beast. Absolutely. Yeah. So we got Elio, definitely Giancarlo.
Who else, bro? Altcoin Daily.
I'm trying to think who's uploading content. It's you, me, Parallax, Giancarlo.
Altcoin Daily.
Altcoin Daily. Bitcoin Express, I think, is still uploading a lot of content. Fucking what's his name? BitBoy, the guy who like is always in the news about some like scam that, or like I don't even know. People either love or hate that guy.
Crypto Banter.
Yeah, he's in there. Who else? Who else in use?
What's that one dude? Max Maher or something? Max Maher. He has like
the dude with the long hair.
Yeah, he has like 1 million subs.
Yeah, he's definitely there. Oh, Wendy, Crypto Wendy. Oh, again, she's actually coming in the show in a few weeks, I think. So yeah, Crypto Wendy is also, she's crushing it in the content game. She has her own show on YouTube channel, everything. So she's definitely in there. I'm not sure who else, man. There's not that many people. It'd be interesting to see who's in here in a few more months. Because I think some people are just like kind of on their dying embers. I think I've seen like their videos start to just take a little bit like bigger and bigger breaks in between their videos. I'm like, oh no. Because it's tough, though. I mean, it's really tough. If you don't have some kind of business model around your videos or like around something you're offering, it's tough. Like a lot of companies are going down under because all their client base is NFT projects. I'm like, fuck, dude, they're all running out of money. They're all broke.
So that's another thing that people need to think about, man.
Randy Crypto.
Yeah, Randy. Even if my videos are stagnant, even if my audience isn't growing, it's still worth sinking time, energy, and money into, because I think of it as like an ecosystem, right? At the end of the day, man, what I love doing is building and working on projects. I love, despite sort of like actually, I think we've kind of moved past this, but like all of the, advising fuckery that went around like 6 months ago where people said they were advisors and they were just paid shills, right? Which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with being a paid marketer. Every other industry, that's okay. The NFT and crypto world are going to have to grow up and understand that it's okay. It's actually fucking fine if you just disclose.
Exactly.
If you don't disclose, it's completely illegal and not okay. But that's what people do in crypto because they're afraid that they're going to be, publicly accosted if they admit that they're marketing projects, which is, it's just a stupid ass backward thing. But despite all that fuckery, something else that I'm doing is consulting and advising Web3 businesses. Snag Solutions. I'm advising. We won out the bid and are building the Bored Ape Yacht Club marketplace.
Hell yeah.
A number of exchanges, even upcoming NFT projects, right? Like I love the process of building out marketing campaigns and helping them with content strategy and taking people who have smart ideas, but don't necessarily understand how to market in Web3, and helping them execute on their vision. And I love, this is, if my like dream scenario is to be, you know what I mean? Like if I'm advising an NFT project and it sells out and I'm a marketing advisor, but you're like, oh wait, and I'm of course like fully disclosed, like anytime that I do talk about it, that I'm an advisor, but for you to be like, oh wait, I didn't know he was advising that, because he never talked about it and showed it on his channel, because like, yeah, that's because I'm doing the job that I was actually hired to do. You know what I mean?
Just
like,
get in the bag.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm passionate about that, helping grow Web3 businesses and infrastructure and networking, right? And meeting people who are building the next version of these things, because you have an opportunity to do that. And I have an opportunity, like when you look back at this last metaverse bull run, right? Now through sort of like the retrospective scope, it's super clear when you look at the Beckers and the Elliots of the world, how like they were advisors of the Vulcan Forged and Seedifies and Polka Starters and these projects that crushed because they maintained their influence through the bear, even if they weren't growing, because that's their leverage to then go do meaningful business.
Exactly.
Right. And I feel like content creators forget about this because it's multifaceted, right? Like the only way there's not one way to, create a great career in content creation. You can do a lot of things. You can do business, you can do whatever you want, or you can not monetize at all. But none of that works if you give up on the very top of the funnel, your freemium offering, which is YouTube, right? So like, why the fuck you would quit just because you're not growing is beyond me, bro. That's your anyway. It just makes no sense to me.
No, I'm 100% on board with you there. I also just love YouTube. Like I said, I've been doing YouTube since I was like 12 years old, making like soccer videos. I've done all the things I've always wanted to do. It. So like when I've been ready to go for monetization since October of last year, and it just took YouTube 8 months. I don't know why, to approve me. Some kind of glitch in the system. Actually, the guy who I met was literally, I don't know. It took like 8 months. There was a glitch, and I met a guy who knew someone who worked at YouTube on the side of the street at NFT Seattle, the conference that I was at a few weeks ago. And it was funny. Right after, during that conversation, the guy who I was talking to, he was talking to someone else, and that guy was Frederick Douglass. I think you were with him the other day, weren't you?
Yeah, I was with him in Vegas.
Bro, I was talking to this motherfucker for half an hour, did not realize who he was until someone walks out and goes, bye, like, what? He's like, starts saying all this stuff, and I was like, wait a second. Pudgy Penguin Frederick? He's like, yeah. I was like, get the fuck out of here. That is the most random coincidence.
Me and him were kicking it. Yeah, me and him both lost every single dollar that we gambled together.
What'd you gamble? What kind of game? You know, not the price.
Blackjack.
Okay.
I like blackjack, craps, all the regular shit, roulette, war. I'm not like, dude, I never gamble. That's why I suck at it. Me neither.
Dude, I remember I was in Vegas for a bachelor party, and I did a slot machine once, and I was like, yo, what the fuck? Why did I just do that? And I like looked around, like everyone else was doing it, having fun. I was like, yo, there's like an NFT I really want to buy. I'd much rather spend my money here than gamble on these stupid machines.
Kind of similar, Cade. That's the alpha.
Yeah, that is the alpha. 100%. And so I know that we got to get you out here in a few minutes, but I wanted to ask a couple fire-off questions. But before that, I wanted to ask what your origin story was with Brett. He like skipped over it a little bit. All I know is you were doing the music stuff, and then Brett hit you to make a video. Did you guys know him before that? Did you guys only know him as like a client work-based relationship, or?
Dude, so me and Brett knew each other because I was doing music, and I had a couple records with an artist that he used to manage and do all the video for. So I went out to shoot with my homie Taffy, and he was managed by Brett. So Brett shot our video. So I met him that way. And then I'd known Brett for a while. I wanted to get another video done. So I called Brett and I was like, yo, can you come shoot this video for me? I'll fly you out to Austin where I live. You can stay with me. Like, we'll just go fuck around, shoot this video. So he's like, okay, cool. And he landed and just like shilled NFTs to me for 2 days straight. And that was the easiest sell ever, man, because I've been in crypto and like I was aware of the technology, and I was, again, like the easiest person to convince ever. So he had mentioned, I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna just jump in. And I jumped in and really quickly just like ended up neck deep in the space. Like as soon as I started, as like from the day that I bought my first NFT, don't think it was a Doge Pound.
Get out of here. Really? You still got it?
No. Actually, I don't. But I from the day that I started, there literally every day since then has been like 10 plus hours in the space.
Yeah.
Like from the moment I got in, I was like, okay, this is it. And I just started trading really, really heavily. And then Brett became Brett after the Brett way after that. And then I became this after that. But it's like we knew each other for years beforehand.
That's awesome.
You shoot my music videos.
Yeah. So wait, what was the day? Was the day job music, or was the day job something else and then music on the side?
No, day job was something else. I was doing software sales.
Okay, nice. So you were in sales.
Yeah. I used to do sales. Yeah.
Did you like it?
Yeah, I was pretty good at it. Not to sound, I mean, it was a basic job, but like I was pretty good at it. It's kind of still part of my job, right?
Yeah, true.
More so marketing, but you know.
Yeah, it's a bit different. I feel like marketing. I know Gary Vee's like a big proponent of like marketing. You don't have to sell, and they could just build your brand. I guess that's similar to like a lot of my content. I just want people to see me over and over and over again until when there's an offer. And like, you know, like when you age up and you make content for an older audience, a younger audience is simply not gonna consume the older content because they don't get it. They're not interested in it. They're just gonna skip over the video. So I know everyone who watches my video that's geared directly at people building in the space, only those builders are going to build. So it's fine if the video gets 200 views instead of another video that's going to get more, because I know that quality of viewer is like way, way higher. But anyways, I want to do some fire off questions. Let me pull up my tab here. Okay. Would you classify yourself, and this is actually not even a fire question, it's just something I'm interested in. Do you consider yourself like philosophical, spiritual? I feel like you could be. Maybe it's just the way you talk. I don't know.
Gosh, I'm sorry.
Fire.
Having allergies.
God's like, I'm not letting him answer that.
Philosophical, yes. Spiritual, no.
Interesting. Okay. Philosophical, how? Like certain, like, did you like Google, or like did you take a class in college? Like I took a philosophy class in college, and I
took a philosophy class, but more so just like I'm somebody who grew up with like a lot of anxiety and an overthinking issue. I've spent a lot of my life inside my head, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what turned me into an extrovert as I got older, was like that's how I sort of get out of that, right? And now I think I certainly have a much more balanced mind and personality, but like I grew up doing an immense amount of self-reflection. And I think I spend a lot of time thinking about like the world and, you know, questioning what I think certain people would assume is sort of objective truth, and just thinking about, you know what I mean? Like the more I travel and meet people and see people with different perspectives, like, anyway, sorry, this is going to last way too long. We keep going, but yeah. So, philosophical to a degree, I suppose.
Yeah. Okay. And honestly, that was the real question I was getting to, was, are you that was the actual question I wrote down, was, are you the overthinker? Because I feel like when I watch your content, at least, you have that ability to, when you're speaking in a video, I feel like I'm right there because of the way you speak. And I was like, okay, that's kind of how I am as well. Like I kind of think in a similar thought process. The way you think about things or explain it at least makes sense to me. And I was like, okay, he's probably an overthinker of sorts. Like I deal with the same kind of shit. I've always kind of overthought about things. I for myself struggle with like self-confidence a lot growing up. And I've just noticed that as you get older, it's, I mean, I don't even know how I kind of like played it. I guess I just went through a bunch of bullshit and just realized no one was ever going to show up. Like there's a scene in Harry Potter, Prisoner of Azkaban, where he shows up for himself with the Dementors.
I watched that movie a week ago.
Dude, fuck yeah. That scene was legendary, because I was like, I just remember being like, damn, bro, like for real, everyone's doing their own shit. So it's not personal, but no one will show up at the end of the line for you. It'll just be you. So that's why I wanted to ask that, but hell yeah. All right. 2 questions here. When was your first relationship? Did it suck? Was it great? Are you married?
7th grade. I thought it was good. She didn't. She dumped me after school, and I cried under the staircase by the gym. Dude, I was down bad. I subsequently asked out her best friend a week later, who said yes. Then she said, "I love you" week 1, and then I broke up with her. They were in 8th grade. I was in 7th grade.
All right, let's go. Champ really is the champ. Let's fucking go.
In my life changed a lot since then. Am I currently married? No. However, I am in a relationship.
Yeah, I always wonder, because with content creators, like, you really don't know, like, because I make my videos about my NFT stuff. I open up a little bit on my podcast and stuff, but like, no one would know that. You know, like, I didn't fucking know you had a girlfriend. Never would have guessed that.
My followers don't give a fuck.
Yeah, they don't care, bro. Like, some would care, you know, but they just want to see her face. They'd be like, is she hot? Like, what, like, ratio, or like, they just say stupid words like NPC stuff. All right. Have you traveled a lot? / where do you want to travel? That you haven't been yet?
I feel like I have been traveling a lot recent. Wait a minute.
Damn.
Okay. Have I traveled a lot? Not internationally. I've been going a lot of places recently, though. I'm at an age where a lot of my friends are having bachelor parties and weddings. I just went to Miami for the first time. I just went to Vegas for the first time for NFT Vegas. I went to New York this year. I have to go to LA kind of often to shoot the podcast with Kev. But like, I've been on a lot of planes this year. But I do the same thing everywhere I go, which is just work off my laptop.
True.
Are there places I want to go? Hell yeah. I've been basically nowhere in Europe. I went one time when I was a kid. I want to go everywhere in Europe. Actually, I basically just want to go everywhere. Like everywhere. I love traveling. I think it's a dope.
Do you have one spot? Like, for me, it's Egypt, the pyramids. That's my number one by far. Do you have anything like that or not?
Actually, I would really like to go to. I think first on the list is probably like southern Italy.
Okay.
Egypt would be dope. I've heard some crazy shit about.
Yeah, me too. That's why I haven't gone there. I'm scared.
I really would like to go back to Germany, where my family is from. I really want to go to basically all of the islands that everybody loves going to. I've never been to any of those places. You know, the Balis, the Maldives, any of that shit. I don't know. Awesome. I just sit in my house. I just went to Hawaii though.
Let's go, dude. Hawaii is the best. I fucking love Hawaii.
Me too. I love Hawaii. Probably my favorite place I visited is actually Tulum, Mexico.
Nice. Hell yeah, David. Y'all should do something like that again. Yeah, I hope so. Yeah,
I was literally about to read that out loud and say 100%. I'm down.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Yeah, because I know we had to get you out of here. Final question, 2 seconds. Favorite food chain, go.
Oh my god, that's so hard. Wait.
Or top 3 maybe.
I can be a little bit late.
Yeah,
no, it's no big deal. Probably Chipotle.
Okay, fuck yeah, I knew we were gonna be friends. Hell yeah, Chipotle for the win. That is easily I go there every single day. Completely stopped eating groceries. I get Chipotle every single day. Best decision of my life. Save me money and time. I should have started earlier. I really should have.
It's the shit. What do you get?
Double white rice, steak, black beans, fajita vegetables, cheese, lettuce, pico, sometimes guac if I'm feeling like I deserved it, and then chips. It's so good. $13.99, I think, or something like that. It's too. I only eat that one meal a day. I just want to work, and I just like eating is like an inconvenience for me. I'm like, well,
I agree.
As fast as possible to not be hungry. I'm gonna take that route.
Yeah, I go white rice, pinto beans, fajita vegetables, steak, usually sometimes chicken. I like the medium salsa, the green one, guac, lettuce, cheese, and then I get the there's a Chipotle Tabasco, and I put it on there as well. Yes, it's not like Chipotle brand, like a Chipotle pepper flavor.
Yeah,
Tabasco,
okay.
They have it there. Cade, would be dope to know you and Champ's thoughts on Blur at the moment. This is the last thing I'm gonna say before I leave. Blur is honestly a great fucking product. I also started talking about this airdrop news 2 days ago on my YouTube before I saw anyone else break it, and today it happened. So maybe I know I say a couple useful things on the channel. By the way, Cade, I've been seeing you comment on my videos, bro. I need to return the favor. You're the fucking man. So
hell yeah, dude, I appreciate you. And also I appreciate you coming on. You were the first person I saw Blur from as well. Your YouTube video is the first place I saw it. As soon as I saw the video, then I saw 25 other influencers doing it. So if you guys want to get the alpha first, you go to Champs Only. If you want to get an alpha pass, Champs Only is there. Champs Only is the answer to all the things. So guys, thank you for being here. Click the like button for me. Subscribe to the channel. His stuff's down below in the description. Click the like button. All the things, Champ, dude. I appreciate you coming on. This is great. We'll have you on again.
I'll see you, man. Thank you, brother.
Guys, peace. Till next time. Continue.